Okay, we are starting this topic, and name of this topic is time and distance. You can see the first formula, speed equal to distance upon time. This is the most basic formula that you must have studied in your previous classes also. And second formula is average speed. That is equal to 2 multiply x multiply y divided by x plus y. This is the most important formula, and you use this formula whenever distance is given to be same, or you can assume the distance to be same. Let us say, suppose you are going from home to university and you are coming back from university to home. If while going your speed is 60 km per hour and while coming back your speed is 40 km per hour, then I could say your average speed would be 2 multiply 60 multiply 40 divided by 100. Okay, if you solve that, you will be getting 48 km per hour. But if you think like if you are going from home to university, average speed was 60 km per hour, and while coming back, speed was 40 km per hour. Answer should be 60 plus 40, 100 upon 250 km per hour, then you are wrong. Whenever distance is assumed to be same, we have to use this formula to find average speed. 2 multiply first speed multiply second speed divided by total of first two speeds. And also, whenever you have to convert speed from kilometer per hour into meter per second, you have to multiply by 5 by 8. Because sometimes, as we have seen, like where we have solved the whole sum, and at the end, if we look into the option, we see the option has been given in meter per second. So what, instead of changing all the units of distance and time, what we can do, we can simply change the unit of speed from kilometer per hour to meter per second by simply multiplying by 5 by 80. And if you want to change speed from meter per second to kilometer per hour, you have to multiply by 18 by 5. Now 4 to 9, these are certain rules that you have to keep in mind while solving sums of time and distance, trains, boats and boats and streams, upstream, downstream. Like if you can see, the formula number 4 is whenever there is question of late and early in the question, you can use this formula. T1 minus T2 equal to difference in time. And whenever, like in the question, you have been given total time, you can use this formula T1 plus T2 equal to total time. And sometimes in the question you get two distances, then you can use this formula, either sixth one, D1 equal to D2, or either you can also use seventh formula, D1 plus D2 equal to total distance. In the same way, if you have been given two speeds in the question, you can use this formula sometimes S1 equal to S2. And the last one, speed inversely proportional to time. And this is very important. We use this concept very often. See, all these formulas which we have discussed till now, we will be discussing with the help of example in our later slides. Okay. Before we move on to few questions, you have to keep few things in mind. Like whenever in the question you have been given two trains, like first train is moving with the speed of x kilometer per hour and second train is moving with the speed of y kilometer per hour, then the relative speed would be x minus y. We have to subtract those two speeds. It's not like only two trains. It could be like one person sitting on the back side of a bike, another person sitting inside a train. And even if they're going in same direction, then relative speed has to be subtracted. So it's not that this formula will work only on trains. It could be on any two persons sitting anywhere in whichever direction they are moving. In the same way, if like two trains are traveling in the opposite direction, then the relative speed we have to add them. Suppose you have been given latest speed of first train as 60 km per hour and of second train 40 km per hour, then the relative speed would be 60 plus 40, 100. And length of two trains or length of two trains or length of one train and platform, if given in question, it is always to be added, irrespective of whether you're going in the same direction or opposite direction. It doesn't matter. Okay. And just ignore the height of tree or the man if given in the question. because like if train is crossing a man or train is crossing a tree, it's the distance of tree or the distance of, you can say the height of tree or height of man, that is negligible as compared to tree. Okay, so now let us move on to few questions. Like we are moving to our first question. Now we will be using all those formulas that we have done till now in these few questions. I have taken certain different questions. Like question number 1, walking at 3/4 of his normal speed, Abhishek is 16 minutes late in reaching his office. The usual time taken by him to cover the distance between his home and his office, that you have to find. See, if you look carefully, there is a word late is being used in the question. So you can think about that formula number 5 that I have written, T1 minus T2 equal to difference in time. And the last formula number 9, like speed is inversely proportional to time. See, you can assume the distance between home and office as x. See, he is walking at 3/4 of his normal speed. Can I say like this? Like if the speed becomes 3/4 of the normal speed, as it has been given in the question, if the speed becomes 3/4 of the normal speed, then time will become 4/3 of the usual time. Why? Because speed is inversely proportional to time. So let the usual time be t. Let the usual time be t. Okay. So let the usual time be t. So I can say t1 minus t2 is difference in the time. So the first time is 4/3 t minus second time t, that is equal to 16. So if you solve that, you will be getting t equal to 48 minutes. Okay. So let's move on to next question. Like two trains for Bhopal leaves daily at 9 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. and travel at 90 km per hour and 80 km per hour respectively. So how many kilometers from Delhi will the two trains be together? See, in this question, first of all, both the trains, they are moving from Delhi towards Bhopal. I mean, two trains are going in the same direction. But one train is moving at 9 a.m., another is moving at 8:30 a.m. So to make the time same, like to find the concept of relative speed, to use the concept of relative speed, we have to make the time same. Let us say first train is moving at 9 a.m. with the speed of 90 km per hour, and second train is moving at the speed of 80 km per hour at 8:30. So if I ask you, how much distance will be covered by the second train in 30 minutes, then you can say 40 km per hour. So I can say to make 8:30 as 9 a.m., the second train will cover 40 km more. So this is what I'm saying. Like distance traveled by the train at 80 km per hour in 30 minutes, that will be 40 km. So this distance of 40 km is to be covered with a relative speed of 10 km per hour. Okay. So now time taken to cover this distance would be distance upon speed. What is the distance? 40 km. What is the relative speed? 10. You can say in 4 hours will be the time that will be taken to cover this distance. So if you ask me when the two trains will be together from Delhi, I can say the trains will be together after 4 hours now. So after 4 into 90 is 360 kilometers from Delhi. Because first train is moving at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. So 90 into 4 is 360. So you can say the 360 kilometers from Delhi, two trains will be together. So in this question, this point is important. Like if we use the concept of relative speed, both trains should start at the same time. Okay, let us come to another question. Like Ram travels at the rate of 3 km per hour and he reaches 15 minutes late. And if he travels at the rate of 4 km per hour, he reaches 15 minutes early. You have to find the distance Ram has to travel. See, first hint you get after reading the question is late and early concept is coming. So it means you can say, oh, I will be using this formula, T1 minus T2 equal to difference in time. But you have to find the difference in time. See, like suppose if you calculate your time according to your time of reaching school, let us say you used to reach school at 8 a.m. in the morning. Suppose with the speed of 3 kilometers per hour, you are reaching 15 minutes late. So you will reach at 8:15. But if you're going at the speed of 4 kilometers per hour, you are reaching 15 minutes earlier. That is, you would reach at 7:45. So if I ask you what is the difference between two times, 7:45 and 8:15, then you would say 30 minutes. Okay. So I can say T1 minus T2, that would be 30 minutes. So let x be the distance Ram has to travel. So using the formula of time, time is distance upon speed. Distance x upon first speed 3 minus x upon second speed, that is equal to 30 upon 60 hours. So if you solve it, you will be getting x equal to 6 kilometers. You will be getting x equal to 6 kilometers. See, if in this question, Ram is traveling at the speed of 4 kilometers per hour and he reaches 20 minutes late. So if your time of reaching school is 8 a.m., you will reach at 8:20. And if you travel at the speed of 3 kilometers per hour and you are reaching 15 minutes late, you will again reach at 8:15. So if I ask you what is the difference between 8:15 and 8:20, you would say 5 minutes. So that would be my formula. So I can say difference in two time, that would be equal to 5 by 60. Why I have divided by 60? Because the speed has been given in kilometer per hour. So I'm taking time in hours. So by solving this, you can find the distance Ram has to travel. The catch in the question is 5 minutes. How you got this 5 minutes? That is very important. 20 minutes late, 8:20. 15 minutes late, 8:15. So what is the time gap? 20 minus 15 is 5. Okay. In the same way, if the question is like this, Ram travels at the rate of 3 kilometers per hour and he reaches 25 minutes early. So 25 minutes early means you are reaching at 7:35. If you take into consideration the same time concept of reaching school like 8 a.m. And if you're traveling at the rate of 4 kilometers per hour, you are reaching 15 minutes earlier, means 7:45. So what is the time difference between 7:35 and 7:45? 10 minutes. So you can say the formula would be T2 minus T1 equal to 10 minutes. Okay. I hope this question is clear to you. Okay, let us come to our next question. This is like a person starts from A towards B at 8 a.m. at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Another person starts from B towards A at 8:30 a.m. Means A, first person is moving from A to B, another person from B to A. Means they are moving in opposite direction. And you remember the rule. If two persons or two trains, they are moving in opposite direction, relative speed has to be added. But the time is different. Like here it is 8:30 a.m., it is 8 a.m. So my question is, at what time will they meet if the distance between A and B is 200 kilometers? Okay. See, it is clear from the above question that both persons are in motion at 8:30 a.m. So hence the concept of relative speed will apply only when both the bodies are in motion, that is at 8:30 a.m. So in half hour, person starting from A would have traveled 20 kilometers because the person who is moving from A to B, his speed is 40 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour, if he is moving 40 kilometers, so in 30 minutes, that is half an hour, he will move 20 kilometers. So I can say at 8:30 a.m. the distance between A and B now has been reduced to 180 kilometers. First, the distance between A and B was 200 kilometers, but now since A has moved 20 kilometers in 30 minutes, so now the distance left is 180 kilometers. And since the two persons are moving in opposite direction, so relative speed would be 50 plus 40, 90. So we have to find the time when they meet. We can use the same formula. Time would be distance upon speed. Distance is 180 divided by speed, 90. That is 2 hours. So you can say 2 hours after 8:30 a.m., that is 10:30 a.m., both the persons will meet. Okay. So both persons will meet at 10:30 a.m. Okay. I hope this question is clear to you. Let us move on to some different question. Like two trains are running on parallel lines in the same direction at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour and 20 kilometers per hour respectively. The faster train crosses a man in the second train in 36 seconds. You have to find the length of faster train. You have to find the length of faster train. See, the catch in the question is two persons are moving in the same direction. So let the length of the faster train be x meters. So relative speed would be 40 minus 20. Why? Because they are moving in the same direction, then speed has to be subtracted. Relative speed would be 20 kilometers per hour. So I can find the distance. Speed equal to distance upon time. So I would say distance would be equal to speed multiplied by time. 20 multiply 5 by 18 multiply 36. Why I am multiplied by 5 by 18? Because speed has been given into kilometer per hour. So I have to change this speed into meter per second. So I multiplied speed by 5 by 18. And 36 second is the time that has been given in the question. So if you solve it, you will be getting this. See, in such type of question, there are always three variables: speed, distance, time. Two variables have been given to you directly or indirectly. Third one you have to find. Okay. So as you can see in this question, relative speed, they were going in the same direction. So I have subtracted, and the time they are saying is 36 seconds. Now, if in the same question, if instead of same, opposite direction is written, then I have to add that speed. In that case, speed would be 40 plus 20, 60 kilometers per hour. Okay. Now let us move on to another question. It's a very important question. This will help you to understand the concept of trains in a better way. And in this question, we will be using this formula S1 equal to S2. Okay. See, first of all, try to understand the question. A train requires 7 seconds to pass a pole, while it requires 25 seconds to cross a stationary train, which is 378 meters long. Find the speed of the train. See, first of all, try to understand the question. In this question, a train is crossing a pole in 7 seconds, and it requires 25 seconds to cross another train whose length is 378 meters long. So we can divide this question into two parts. First of all, we can consider it up to pole, like a train required 7 seconds to pass a pole. Okay, I will show you how we can solve this question. Okay, so now you can see it. Like what we can, first of all, we can find the speed in first case. Like the train required 7 seconds to pass a pole. So if we can assume that length of first train, length of first train equal to x, speed will be equal to distance upon time. If you use this formula, distance is x and time is 7. In the same way, the second case, now train is crossing another train which is 378 meter long. So I can say S would be equal to x plus 378 divided by 25. So now the train is, the first train is crossing a pole and another train is crossing, and the same train is crossing the stationary train. So I can use this concept. I can say S2. So I can simply put x upon 7 equal to x plus 378 divided by 25. So if you solve it, you can easily get the answer. If you solve it, you can easily get the answer. Okay. So by this way, you can solve it. So the most important thing is we have used this concept S2. This will help you to understand like why we have gone for it. Okay. I hope this thing is clear to you. Okay, now we are coming to like you have to find number of meeting points on a circular track. Like when two people are running on same track with different speeds, then to find their point of meeting, we need to find out the ratio of their speeds. And one should also consider the direction of the running, which can be same or opposite. Let us say if two people are running with the speeds in the ratio m ratio n, and if they are running in the same direction, then their number of meeting points will be m minus n. And if they are running in opposite direction, then their number of meeting points will be m plus 9. We will study this with the help of one example. Let us say this is the question. Two students are running on circular track with speed 20 km per hour and 30 km per hour. And you have to find the number of distinct meeting points where they meet if they are running in same or opposite directions. You have to find the how many points they will meet. See, first speed is 20, second speed is 30. So ratio of two speed is 20 divided by 30, that is 2 ratio 3. So number of meeting points when students are running in the same direction, it would be 3 minus 2, that is 1. So if I can say, like, if two persons are moving in the same direction in this question, they would meet at only 1 point. But if they are moving in opposite direction, the number of meeting points when students are running in opposite directions, it would be 3 plus 2 equal to 5. So they would be meeting 5 times if they are moving around a circle in opposite direction. Okay, like when to solve the problem on circular track, you should keep the following 2 points in mind. Like when two persons are running around this circular track in opposite directions, the relative speed is equal to the sum of speeds of the two individuals, and from one meeting point to the next meeting point, the two of them together covers a distance equal to the length of the track. The two of them together covers a distance equal to the length of the track. And secondly, when two persons are running around the circular track in same direction, the relative speed is equal to the difference of speeds of the two individuals, and from one meeting point to the next meeting point, the faster one covers one complete round more than the slower person. This thing you have to keep in mind. So, like if in the question you have been asked, like when two people A and B with respective speed of A and B, they are running around the circular track, starting at the same point, and you are supposed to find the time taken to meet for the first time ever. This is what time will they meet for the first time ever. So if they are moving in the same direction, you can find time like this: distance upon speed. Distance is L. L is the length of the circular track. A minus B, difference of speed. And in the same way, when two persons are moving in the opposite direction, time would be distance upon speed. Distance is L, speed is A plus B. But sometimes in the question they ask you time taken to meet for the first time at the starting point. If they ask you when they will meet at the starting point, then you have to find LCM of 2 times. Like this is the first time, L upon A, comma, L upon B, this is the second time. So if they're moving in same or opposite direction, we will use the same formula.